Charlotte Hornets have slid under the radar, haven't they? When you're a bad team and everyone knows you were going to be bad and then you are bad, it's like your inadequacies, your mediocrity, even worse, like the train wreck that is your team, it just goes completely unnoticed, doesn't it? They have slid under the radar, I think, for too long. No one in the NBA right now is playing worse defense than the Charlotte Hornets. No one. They're giving up like 117 points per game, 117.7 per game. That is 27th in the NBA. They are 28th in the NBA in rebounds allowed, 24th in the NBA in assists allowed, 24th in the NBA in opponent field goal percentage. I mean, there's not a defensive metric that they do well. If you could find one and tell me, let me know. They're basically in the bottom quarter in every single category. And this is coming off of a season where their head coach was fired because they finished 27th in the NBA in points given up with, you guessed it, same exact amount, 117.1 points per game. So actually are worse this year. They fired my man James Borrego, brought in Steve Clifford, and they are statistically worse defensively than they were last year. So I took a lot of flack because I said that the Charlotte Hornets could be the worst team in sports. Maybe that's not true. Okay, James Dolan exists. No shade to James Dolan. Love James Dolan. Love your work. Love your music. Want to be at MSG. So we're good on that. You might say that Dan Snyder is worse. Totally fair. You might say that homie from the Suns, Robert Sarver, was worse. Okay, but all we know is that they're in the dregs. All of them. Michael Jordan is in the dregs. But Steve Clifford, new coach Steve Clifford, but actually old coach Steve Clifford because he was a head coach there once before, has had enough of the Charlotte Hornets bullshit. What did he do? He just destroyed them. Not just destroyed them on the internet, not just destroyed them in private. He decided he was going to do a full dress down on video. Yes, he did. Last night is what happened. Charlotte Hornets went to OT against the Pistons. A team without Cade Cunningham. And let me remind you, he's out for the year now. We should probably mention that because last episode we didn't know, and 15 minutes after the episode got recorded, it was announced. I hate to see it. That's just life in the NBA circles, right? And this was LaMelo's return after a month on the IL. LaMelo Ball fouls out with 29.6 seconds remaining in regulation. And the Hornets crater. They lost 141-134 in OT. And Steve Clifford, I tell you what, he was big mad. This is what he did in his post-game presser, pretty much blowing up the bridge.
Until we care about something besides how many points we score, we're not going to win much. Can't play like that. I mean, we scored. Our offense was good. That's 5 out of the last 7 games. We've been pretty good on offense. We are playing no defense, not one guy. There's not a bright spot.
Not one bright spot on defense? Not one? That is damning, is it not? When someone says this whole team stinks, and I mean every single player, there is not one good player. Like, so if you reside on this team, you should know you stink.
Pick and roll stuff, all stuff that was good. I think we were as high as like 12th or 13th in defense about 10 games ago. And we're right back to where we started, ground zero, where all we want to be is let's try to outscore the other teams. Doesn't work in the NBA.
Pause. In this game, really fast, I'm watching this video, they shot 51 threes. Are you serious? They went 17 for 51 from 3. Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, unless you're, well, actually, it never works, okay? So what I just told them, this is either you build a game that will actually work at the end of the year when you play the important games, or you don't. That's it. That's what the NBA is all about, okay? It's not that we don't have the talent to do it. All we care about is scoring. That's it. And if you're going to try to play like that, you better have like 5 all-stars. We don't have that kind of talent. So it's not something that will work. We're either going to...
Did he just say you better have 5 all-stars? Was that a ricochet shot at the Warriors? Warriors play some defense now, normally, not this year.
Something that will work. We're either going to decide to get back to playing with a defensive effort. It's not that we're not trying to win. It's we go about it all wrong. Okay? I mean, watch team after team, right? There's always a team every year that they get there, and what happens? They get drilled because they don't have a game. They don't have the right kind of game. You can't just outscore people in the NBA. You can't. You can't. And you can't decide that you're not going to do the things that take effort, like rebounding or getting loose balls or putting your body in front of the ball. You can't. It just doesn't work that way. And that's what we're trying to do right now.
That was a 2-minute dress down. The question, though, that I have is, like, where has Steve Clifford been? You know? Like, where was he last year? What was he doing when the Charlotte Hornets gave up 117.1 points per game? Like, what did he think was going to happen? Did he think when he took the job, like, yeah, I'm going to turn Kelly Oubre into Dennis Rodman? What? Like, who told him it was going to be any different? This is how they are. This is their entire MO. We put up buckets. We shoot up 51 threes per game. We don't get back on defense. We yell at the ref. LaMelo is legit the only player that has any interest in playing defense at all. LaMelo says, oh, yeah, we got to lock in on defense and figure that out. As soon as we do, we will turn this thing around. LaMelo Ball defensive rating, I'm pretty sure, is not commensurate with his desire to play defense. 114.3 defensive rating for LaMelo Ball. So, I want to be a supermodel. But you know what? I'm 5'5". So, it's just not happening for your girl. And that's what's happening for the Charlotte Hornets. You don't have the personnel to play defense. You have what we call chuckleheads on your roster, and many of them. And you don't have a ton of length and athleticism to make up for it on the back end. I mean, this is what we've been saying about Charlotte for three years. I don't even know why Steve Clifford is ranting about this. This is something we just kind of all know. The Hornets now 7-21, worse than the Pistons, meaning currently the Charlotte Hornets have the worst record in the NBA. And the Charlotte Observer noted that the main reason that they are this bad is this: staying in front of the guy with the ball. One of the most basic defensive principles seems foreign to Charlotte. Running back on defense to prevent the easy layup, another concept seemingly hasn't been introduced. Folks, this is crazy. This is so insane. Like, absolutely bonkers stuff that we have to talk about this. The issue, there's no way to fix this. Like, how do you get a guy or a team to buy into defense and just all of a sudden start strapping players? Like, how do you get Terry Rozier to stop being like, yeah, I'm going to cook? How do you stop Kelly Oubre from being like, yeah, I cook? I'm a chucker. What? I'm going to play defense. Portland's probably the best example, and let's be honest, they're not like some juggernaut. For many years, the Portland Trailblazers were 30th in defensive rating. They had to blow up their fucking roster to do it, too. They had to get new guys: Jeremy Grant, Josh Hart, Gary Payton II. He's not back yet, but he will be there. Nasir Little had to get more time. You had to move C.J. McCollum, that was an absolute sieve on defense. You had to figure out a way to get guys to protect Dame Lillard, who's an absolute sieve on defense. No shade to Dame Lillard. Love you, Dame Lillard. That's pretty much Charlotte's future, is it not? Blow it all up. Get rid of everyone. Get rid of everyone but LaMelo Ball and protect him with guys who are wings who can defend. Figure it out. You're a team that's going to be in the lottery. I don't know. Maybe they'll get Victor Wembanyama, which would be a goddamn shame. Clifford ended his presser by saying, all we want to be is, let's outscore the other team. That doesn't work in the NBA. Never works. A more true statement never been said. He might have explained why he's going to be out of a job sooner than later. Because if you're allowing, 11 uncontested layups per game to be made, I think that's what it is. I mean, you, sir, are not doing the very basics of your job.